welcome back to the #1 sportscast in the world, where we give full card predictions and a betting breakdown. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn on those post notifications and share this video as well. UFC Vegas 76, Strickland vs. Magomedov. I'm looking forward to breaking down this card. But before we do that, let's go ahead and recap UFC on ABC 5 along with our bets.
Absolutely, Martin, and I'm happy to do it because it was another positive week for our show. We turned up positive 0.8 units profit, making it 2 straight weeks in a row. We have officially started a winning streak, Martin. That's 4 out of the last 6 weeks we have won money on the UFC. So we're looking to keep it going, man. And I'm happy to do it because last card was crazy, bro. 4 underdogs to start the card win. A lot of madness at UFC Jacksonville, dude. Macy Barber, Ilya Topuria impressed like crazy. But our bets went 2-1. Like I said, we pushed on Justin Tafa, getting poked right in the face, Martin. That was one of the worst eye pokes I've ever seen in the UFC. I'll be honest. He started bleeding from his eyes, man. That was crazy. So we were happy to push on that because it looked like it wasn't going to go his way that night, I'll be honest. But we hit our other 2 bets, and we lost the parlay on Amanda Ribas getting knocked out, like I said earlier, from Macy Barber, dude. She impressed, and she might be the real deal. So, great card, last card, trying to keep it winning here. So let's get going.
Action Sportscast. Ladies and gentlemen, just a friendly reminder, all these odds are from Tapology.com and are subject to change. First up in the card, we have Guram, Georgian Viking Kutateladze. He's 12-3. He can catch his odds at a -400. He's 31 years old. And he's taking on Elves Brener. He's 14-3. He's the moderate underdog. You can catch his odds around a +300. He's 25 years old. Effie.
Pretty crazy fight to start the card because this is a big gap in levels of competition, in my opinion. Martin, you mentioned Guram Kutateladze earlier around -400. Money's been coming in, just pouring left and right on him. He's around -600 now. So to me, there's no value on the money line on this bet. Of course, my pick is Guram Kutateladze to win this fight. A well-rounded guy, fighting high-level guys in the UFC straight off the bat. And a big, weird jump up in competition, in my opinion, for Elves Brener. He comes in, makes his debut against Zubaira Tukurov and wins the upset, fight. And really impressed, man. But Zubaira did miss weight in that fight by 3 pounds. So I don't know. Did we get a weak opponent from him in his opening debut? So I think that the way I'm going to approach this fight betting wise, Martin, is I'm looking at that over 2.5 rounds. I don't think that Guram's going to get finished in this fight. And I don't think that he's going to finish Elves on short notice. Elves is a good fighter at a shooter box. He's fighting with Charles Oliveira in his camp. He knows how to roll on the ground. And he's a good fighter in his own right. So I'm looking at that over 2.5 rounds at -120. But as far as the pick, I'm going with Guram to win via decision.
Action Sportscast. Next up in the heavyweight division, we have Alexandr King Kong Romanov. He's 16-2. You can catch his odds around a -125. He's 32 years old. He's got a 75-inch reach. And he's taking on Blagoy Ivanov. He's 19-5. He's a +100. He's 36 years old with a 73-inch reach. Effie.
Yeah, Martin, you can call me Patrick Mahomes the way I'm going to pass on this fight. There's no way I'm going to bet on this fight. Super low-level, sloppy heavyweight fight. And to me, it's like, how many times, bro? How many times are we going to see Alexandr come in and look bad? This guy is a bum, dude. The last fight, to me, you got to cut him for that. He had 1 minute of gas, dude. Who like Braxton Smith out there? Didn't get one takedown against Volkov, fails on the initial takedown, Martin. And just, dude, 1 minute of gas and then he's done, right? And so to me, you said he's 16-2. He came in undefeated against that Tybura fight in Salt Lake, a fight that I was at, the Leon Edwards Usman card. And again, he was suplexing him in that first round, looking good. This dude suplexes people all the time, mayor of Suplex City. But then he gasses, bro. So we got his opponent, Ivanov, who's super durable. And then one thing that I can count on him is to be there in that 3rd round, to not get knocked out. This guy's fought guys like Derek Lewis, Tai Tuivasa, and these guys can't put him out. This guy is a chin made of steel. And we all know, that his story with getting stabbed in the chest. Don't got to bring that up. But this guy's a very good grappler. And so to me, if I have Alexandr fighting someone that can grapple in his own right, what's this going to look like if it gets extended? If Romanov doesn't get this finish in that 1st round, Martin, I'm taking Blagoy. So for this pick, dude, I'm staying away. I'm not betting it, but I am picking the underdog, Blagoy. Who you got?
Now I think the chemistry is coming, dude, because I'm on the same page as you.
Okay.
Not only do I got Blagoy, but you took the words right out of my mouth. I'm not betting on this fight or picking on it, but I mean, I'm going with Blagoy. I mean, this is a sluggish heavyweight fighter. I think the only advantage Alexandr has is, to me, he's just a fresher fighter because of age. Being that heavy, moving that weight around, fighting in this division puts a big tear on your body. And Baga's very sloppy. I think he's here for the paycheck, but I think he's the better all-around wrestler. I don't think Alexandr has good wrestling. He's very sloppy. He's a bot wrestler, and if Blagoy can take it to the ground and just tire him out, I think that's his best shot in winning.
Action Sports Cap.
Next up in the featherweight division, we have Joanderson to Brito. He's 14-3. He's 28 years old. He's 5'8" with a 72-inch reach. And he's taking on Westin Wilson. He's 16-7. He's 34 years old, 6'1", with a 73-inch reach. Effie.
Yeah, man, the widest line on the card for a reason. Joanderson Brito coming in at minus 1,400, bro. And there's just no value on him at all. You gotta approach this fight method of victory over under. But as far as this fight and how I think it's gonna go, dude, Brito is a savage. Good hands, good feet, good kicks, and a very good grappler, man. 14 wins on his record and 12 finishes. This guy's a beast. Looking really good so far in the UFC, and he's fighting a guy that I have no clue how he's in the UFC. He's 34 years old, and he's 6'1" at 145. Dude, Wilson, I know he's only been KO'd one time in his career, but I think he's going to get slept in this fight. I think that lead leg is going to be there to get chewed up. His striking defense is very bad. His level of competition is very bad. He keeps his hands low, man. I just don't know how this fight's getting booked. What about you?
I just realized as I was reading this, I didn't have the odds on here. What were the odds?
Yeah, so right now, Brito, well, it opened at minus 800 Brito, and that's like a steal. To me, that's if you have minus 800 Brito ticket, that's a great bet because that's value, dude. Like, he should kill this guy. Right now, Martin, he is around minus 1,400, like a Bellator line, a PFL line, and his opponent, Wilson, coming in at plus 900. I'm not touching money line on this fight, no way. But like I said, I think that he will get that knockout in that first round. Who do you think's going to win?
Yeah, so after watching a few tape, I totally understand why the odds are what they are, because right before I started, I said he's 16-7. How? Like, how he doesn't fight like he's 16-7. Like, this guy fights like a tough enough fighter. He fights like an amateur. I don't think he has enough experience to go against someone like Joanderson. This guy looks fight ready. He's a savage. So yeah, I got Joanderson Brito. I would even look at the under.
Yeah, man, because Wilson has a 100% finish rate in his 16 wins as well. So he's definitely killer to be killed, and I definitely think it's not going to go his way this fight.
Action Sports Cap.
Next up in the flyweight division, we have Ivana Petrovic. She's 6-0. She's the moderate favorite at a minus 225. She's 29 years old, 5'8", with a 70.9-inch reach. And she's taking on Luana Dread Carolina. She's 8-4, the slight underdog at a plus 180. She's 30 years old, 5'6", with a 69-inch reach. Happy.
Yeah, man, this is actually kind of a funny story. Behind the scenes story here. When I was filming this fight, taping this fight, I was watching Petrovic's last fight, and I thought she was the other girl. So I was like, oh, this girl can't wrestle. She has no wrestling. That was like halfway through the fight. I was like, oh, wait, that's Petrovic. So I had to read down on my notes. Dude, she's good at wrestling. This girl is a grappler. This is a classic grappler versus striking fight. Carolina being the Muay Thai fighter in this fight. But I gotta say, dude, Petrovic's control game isn't that good, and in her most recent fight, she got dropped about 30 seconds into the fight with the elbow in the clinch. And Carolina's a Muay Thai fighter with a good clinch game. It's just that her takedown defense is very suspect. She's been taken down multiple times by people like Little Molly Meatball McCann. Man, that's a very bad look against a one-dimensional grappler here in this fight. But I'm going with the underdog, bro. Underdog season here. Give me Carolina. I'm not touching this. I know it's scared money, don't make money, but man, Luana is a little bit too low level for me to be putting money on. Who you got?
Well, my only concern about Ivana is she humps a lot. Ivana humps a lot. I'm kidding.
Ivana hump a lot.
I'm gonna go with Ivana on this one. I think the numbers are where they are. I mean, it's a good bet. Plus 180, minus 225. I'm seeing here. I think Ivana's only fault that I see is she fights with an ego. She's not able to relax and really use her skills, and she's just too concerned of the outside rather than just fighting, and that comes with experience. So I think we'll see her longer in the sport, and maybe a future champion. Luana's a bot, dude. She has power, but she doesn't know when to use it. She's slow, and so it stops her combinations. I can see Ivana just welling on her decision.
Yeah, dude, to your point, I could definitely see Luana losing this and getting cut from the UFC. So maybe in 2 years, one of these fighters is in the UFC and the other one isn't. So maybe that's Petrovic in this fight. So yeah, I'm sure she's making a debut. I will say Carolina's fought way better high level competition. Give me Carolina. We're going head to head, bro.
Action Sports Cap.
Next up in the bantamweight division, we have Yana Foxy Santos. She's 14-7, the slight underdog at a plus 160. She's 33 years old, 5'8", with a 68.5-inch reach. And she's taking on Karol Rosa. She's 16-5, the moderate favorite at a minus 200. She's 28 years old, 5'5", with a 67.5 reach. Effie.
So money coming in on the underdog this week, Martin, pushing Santos to around plus 130 now, all the way down. So I don't get it. I'm going with Rosa here. You know, she's 5 years younger, and Santos hasn't looked good since having her baby, dude. I understand, you know, it's kind of hard to judge after you have a baby, but she got taken down over and over again by Holly Holm, and that was in the clinch, an area where she's supposed to be really good. But I will say that probably will be an area she will have success in this fight. So she's going up a weight class. She won't have to cut, you know, the extra 10 pounds that she normally does. And she will be the naturally bigger girl. She has a height and reach advantage in this fight, but I think Rosa is a better fighter at distance by a mile. It's just that in the clinch, I'm interested to see who's going to be winning the positions along the cage on the warning track area, you know. I'm going with Rosa here. Give me that money line. Who you got?
I got Foxy Santos. Clap, 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 clap. Foxy Santos. Man, Karol Rosa to me, she's a sluggish fighter. I think that's her fault in my eyes. She's not very high IQ, but she is very heavy-handed. I think Yana Foxy reminds me of a young Shevchenko. Like, she's got this attitude. She knows when to dial it in the fight. It's a different Yana in the cage. And I think this is totally her fight. I could see it going pretty much decision her way. So I would feel comfortable taking it over and taking Santos.
Action Sports Cap.
Next up in the bantamweight division, we have Yana Foxy Santos. She's 14-7, the slight underdog at a plus 160. She's 33 years old, 5'8", with a 68.5-inch reach. And she's taking on Karol Rosa. She's 16-5, the moderate favorite at a minus 200. She's 28 years old, 5'5", with a 67.5 reach. Effie.
So money coming in on the underdog this week, Martin, pushing Santos to around plus 130 now, all the way down. So I don't get it. I'm going with Rosa here. You know, she's 5 years younger, and Santos hasn't looked good since having her baby, dude. I understand, you know, it's kind of hard to judge after you have a baby, but she got taken down over and over again by Holly Holm, and that was in the clinch, an area where she's supposed to be really good. But I will say that probably will be an area she will have success in this fight. So she's going up a weight class. She won't have to cut, you know, the extra 10 pounds that she normally does. And she will be the naturally bigger girl. She has a height and reach advantage in this fight, but I think Rosa is a better fighter at distance by a mile. It's just that in the clinch, I'm interested to see who's going to be winning the positions along the cage on the warning track area, you know. I'm going with Rosa here. Give me that money line. Who you got?
I got Foxy Santos. Clap, 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 clap. Foxy Santos. Man, Karol Rosa to me, she's a sluggish fighter. I think that's her fault in my eyes. She's not very high IQ, but she is very heavy-handed. I think Yana Foxy reminds me of a young Shevchenko. Like, she's got this attitude. She knows when to dial it in the fight. It's a different Yana in the cage. And I think this is totally her fight. I could see it going pretty much decision her way. So I would feel comfortable taking it over and taking Santos.
Action Sports Cap.
Next up in the welterweight division, we have the return of Kevin Motown Phenom Lee. He's 19-7, the slight underdog at a plus 190. He's 30 years old, 5'9", with a 77-inch reach. And he's taking on Rinat Gladiator Fakhretdinov. He's 21-2, the moderate favorite at a minus 230. 31 years old, 6 foot, with a 74-inch reach. And I can't believe they're doing my boy with a funny hat guy. Oh my gosh. As soon as I saw the funny hat, I nearly just got out my seat into the 360. It's like when you sign up your kid for a basketball camp, and you see all the big, you see the other team, and it's the big 13-year-old, and you're like, oh, you just put your hands on your face, and all you could do is pray that your baby boy makes it out alive, and he went to practice. I mean, come on, they're giving Kevin Lee this guy for his return fight. I mean, it's pretty much, I think it's gonna be a banger, but we need Kevin Lee dialed in. You know what I mean? We don't need Kevin Lee excuse Kevin Lee. Are they setting this guy up for failure? I mean, remember, him leaving wasn't on good terms. So I wonder what the contract was to get him back in, and if it was on good terms. I know he's no longer doing business with the manager, Francis Ngannou. They split ways. I'm sure that had something to do with him coming back to the UFC. But man, this guy Rinat, He's pretty. This is an equally match. I just think Rinat is just super fight ready. I think he's the better wrestler. I think he's a real good ground and pounder. I think he's stronger. And you know, all you could say is close your eyes and rest. Hope that your boy makes out alive.
Yeah, man. So I got in on this money line. I jumped in on Rinat money line at -200. I have 1.25 units on him. That's $50 for us. And I think he's going to win this fight, man. And you mentioned it right there, the strength and size. I think that Kevin Lee is obviously a small welterweight, dude. He's a 155er going up to welterweight here. And Rinat is a beast. This guy is a savage. And it's crazy to hear Kevin Lee, do his media before the fights, talking about how he wants to, go for exciting fights and not really focus on the title shot run or anything like that, rankings. Just go for exciting fights and give fans exciting fights. Well, he ain't going to get it in this fight, bro, because this dude has 2 UFC fights, both 15 minutes, and he's averaging 13 minutes of control time. This dude is a beast on the mat. If you throw one kick lazy, he's going to catch it, he's going to trip you, and he just relentlessly shoots takedowns on you. I think this is a fight between 2 good grapplers. And on the feet, I'm giving Kevin Lee the advantage here. He has a longer reach, and in my opinion, he's a better striker. It's just that Diego Sanchez fight, Martin, I remember where I was driving home from work. I missed the beginning of the fight, and it turned out that Kevin got kicked in one of his knees that he's had surgery on, and it was kind of numb the rest of the fight because from what I saw, Kevin Lee looked bad against a bad old Diego Sanchez. And if you're looking bad against Diego Sanchez, you're going to get smoked by the funny hat wearing Rinat from... I don't even want to say his last name. I'll let Martin handle that. So give me Rinat money line -200 for 1.25 units. I think he wins a decision or finishes Kevin Lee late.
Action Sports Cap.
Next up in the middleweight division, we have Nursulton Black Ruziboev. He's 34-8-2, 29 years old. He's 6'4", and he's fighting Brunno the Hulk Ferreira. He's an undefeated fighter, 10-0. Hands on my head. He's 30 years old. He's 5'10". Happy.
Yeah, man. First of all, we got to talk about Ruzi here. 29 years old, 42 professional fights. That's cap, bro. I don't think he's 29 years old. I'm calling cap, dude. If you look at his record, he's like Khabib. He's fighting multiple times in a day or 2 times in a month, 3 times in a month. His lower level, he's a stat patter. He's a record patter, right? But he has a huge frame for the division. He is 6'1". He'll be 6 inches taller than his opponent here. Or sorry, he's 6'4". And Brunno here is 5'10". But Brunno, like what Martin was mentioning here, 10-0, 10 finishes, 7 knockouts, 3 submissions. Never been around 3. This guy's a beast. This guy has heavy hands, and we saw it on his debut, man. He burst onto the UFC scene, got that upset win against Gregory Robocop Rodriguez, a big underdog in Brazil. That was a sick knockout. 1-touch power. This guy can crack, man. And I like the boxing from Ruzi, though. He's a big, tall guy. He's a very good boxer, but he has no takedown defense here. So if it does get, scary on the feet for Brunno, I feel like he can take him down whenever he wants and get a ground and pound finish. So I actually think that Bruno's going to win via stoppage, a fight that I'm very much looking forward to. What about you?
I mean, I'm really impressed with someone like Brunno. I mean, this guy puts on a show. His name is the Hulk. I mean, you don't just name yourself the Hulk if you have nothing to do with the Hulk. This guy is incredible. I mean, he's just grounds and pound. He's a savage. But I think we're not giving Nursulton the credit he deserves.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
Yeah. If you have a good game plan and you're able just to tire out the Hulk, take him to decision, bring him down, and just totally get him out of his realm, I think that's the best bet for Nursulton. So I think a safe bet for me would to take an over on this match. I know you think Brunno may end it early, but no, I think this is going to go the over.
Dude, I actually like that because I'm happy to hear you say that because I actually thought I was going to get to a bet here on the underdog, just about pure value because this line does seem a little bit wide. I am going to go, like I said, with Brunno. But, dude, the bottom game from Ruzi here is pretty impressive. If you watch his knockout win against that guy, Maine, he wins via... he's getting armbarred, right? He stacks the guy and slams him. So this guy is very good grappling. It was pretty impressive to watch. But, yeah, he gets taken down way too easily. Give me Brunno to win via knockout.
Action Sport.
Opening up the main card, taking place in the lightweight division, we have Benoit, God of War Saint-Denis. He's 10-1, the moderate underdog at a plus 215. He's 27 years old, 5'11 with a 73-inch reach. And he's taking on Ismael Marreta Bonfim. He's 19-3, the moderate favorite at a minus 275. He's 27 years old, 5'8 with a 71-inch reach. FD.
Yeah, man, money coming in left and right on Bonfim, man. People are parlaying this guy. He's all the way to minus 325. And I'm not going to touch that. I feel like I've lost the line. If I would have got in earlier, I probably would have bet that. I do think that he's going to win this fight. You know, in Denis, 10-1, all 10 of his wins finished. He's never won a decision in his life, in his pro career. And this guy's a finisher. This guy's very, very durable, though, Martin. And it's kind of interesting because Bonfim came in as an underdog in his last fight. Obviously knocked out Terrence McKinney, probably knockout of the year, really, so far. And now he comes in as a massive, massive favorite. So the market's really reacting to him, really, I guess, kind of being biased to his last performance. But I do think that he's well-rounded, man. Very good grappler, very good defensive grappler. And like you said, very heavy-handed hitter. And yeah, man, who you got?
We were discussing earlier, man, and I said I'm really feeling the over on this. And I could see it's not enough for me to lay money. It's just too high for me. But I can see this fight going two ways. Ishmael taking a decision. It's going to be a back and forth fight, a swing and bang. Benoit just too lengthy for me. I think that's his only advocate here is his length. But that's not enough for Ishmael, who's just a heavy hitter. He's a dog, and I can either see it going KO, late KO, or a unanimous decision win for Ishmael.
Yeah, man, going to be a great fight, exciting fight, and a good way to start the main card.
Action.
Sport.
Next up in the women's flyweight division, we have Ariana Queen of Violent Lipski. She's a slight underdog at a plus 135. She's 29 years old, 5'6", with a 67-inch reach. And she's taking on Melissa Gatto, 8-1-2. She's a minus 165, 27 years old, 5'5", with a 69-inch reach. FB.
Yeah, man, and I wish I would have got in on those money lines earlier in the week because Melissa Gatto's all the way to minus 235 and Lipski's all the way to plus 190. So I can't bet on Gatto in this fight, but I am going to pick her to win this fight. Man, Lipski's just too inconsistent in my opinion. Pretty good striker, very good grappler. More so of a striker in my opinion. Probably the better technical striker here than Gatto, but Gatto has more power in my opinion, and she doesn't wear damage as bad as Lipski. Lipski can get punched a couple times and start to get marked up pretty quick, man. I know she came out and just blitzed JJ Aldrich in her last fight and looked good. So it's kind of interesting to see her come in and get steamed as a big underdog here and money, coming in on her opponent after she looked good in her last fight. It's just that her fight before that, she looked terrible against Priscilla Cachoeira. She got just crushed. So I feel like if someone can push the pace and bring the fight to her, she's going to fold. And I think that Gatto's going to do just that. Give me Gatto to win a decision. What about you?
On this one, I'm taking Queen of Violence Lipski. Like I said earlier, to me, this one is like a flip of a coin. So if you're giving me a flip of a coin and you're giving me plus money at a little over plus 135, sign me up. Sign me up all day. I like the over on this. What's the over? Do you mind telling me? To me, I'm feeling it. It should be minus money. It should be, you should lay money down because I think this is going to be a great fight. I think they put this fight on purpose. To me, it looks like it's going to be two twins fighting, two sisters fighting. We're going to see who comes out on top. Who is going to show up? Who is going to have the better night will win this fight. Action.
Sport.
Next up in the welterweight division, we have Max Payne Griffin. He's 19-9, the slide underdog at a plus 180. He's 37 years old, 5'11", with a 76-inch reach. And he's taking on Michael Morales, 14-0, the moderate favorite at a minus 220, 24 years old, 6 foot, with a 79-inch reach. FB.
Yeah, man, right away, a little bit of money coming in on Morales here, all the way to minus 250, and this is going to be a great fight, Martin. I think this is great matchmaking for Morales here, because Max Griffin's a no joke, dude. He is good. If it weren't for a split decision loss to Neil Magny, he'd be on a 5-fight winning streak, and before that, a split decision loss to Oliveira, so he could be on a 6-fight winning streak. This guy is very well-rounded, pretty safe everywhere the fight takes place, but dude, Morales is a beast of a prospect. 24 years old. We saw him against Adam Fugit, and to me, he did kind of gas out a little bit toward the end of the fight, but he did finish Adam, a very durable guy. And dude, well-rounded, Ecuadorian kickboxing, Muay Thai champion, Ecuadorian wrestling champion. I mean, I don't know how much you want to weigh that, considering it's Ecuador, but I like this kid, man. 24 years old, and I expect to see him improving. And if you could beat someone like Max Griffin at this point in your career, you got a pretty high ceiling. So I'm expecting Morales to win this fight, and I kind of like that money line. What about you?
Let me just start it off like this. I watched tape of Max, right? And then all I had to do to watch tape of Michael Morales was cover my eyes, because it doesn't matter what I saw. Anything's better than this guy.
Oh, no, really?
Oh, brother. This guy stinks.
I disagree.
Yeah, but he's got like, he can fight, but the thing is he's a dork. I'm never trusting someone that has a tattoo across their chest like that. Like, that is like so 90s. Like, that just shows you have trust issues. Michael Morales, when I see him in there, he's so calm. He's submissive. He takes his time. Max Griffin is a little concerned of his surroundings. And that's a lot of these fighters' problems. He's not experienced under the lights. It looks like Morales, yeah, he's 14-0, but I think he has way more experience before that. He's got more live experience, more live matches. I think he's going to take his time. I think he's going to piece up Max Griffin, take the over on this one.
Action Sports Cap.
The co-main event taking place in the lightweight division, we have Damir Kazak Ismagulov. He's 24-2, the slight favorite at a -155, 32 years old, 5'10", with a 74-inch reach. And he's taking on Grant KGD Dawson, 19-1-1, the slide underdog at a +125. He's 29 years old, 5'10", 72-inch reach. FE.
I am so excited for this fight, man. It's a pick'em for a reason. And I'm going to go with Grant Dawson. You know, Damir Ismagulov is usually a fighter I'd be picking here, an Eastern European, good wrestler, well-rounded fighter. Fighting Grant Dawson here, who also is a very good grappler, you know. It's just that Damir retired after his last fight. It was a very strange retirement. He said he was like dealing with injuries or something. I just think that he got fed up with the judges. He got robbed in a fight he probably should have won a few times in the UFC. But the thing is, he's fought good grapplers, man. We just saw him against Armin Tarzukian. You know, Armin shot 21 takedowns, Martin, and he landed 7. So his takedown defense held up. He got up 6 times. Very good defensive grappler, like I said, and a very good striker. I do think the striking edge goes to Damir Ismagulov in this fight. So if Grant Dawson can't get this guy down and control him, I'd be worried on him. So I know that the money's coming in a little bit on Ismagulov here. We might see some plus money on Dawson. And man, it's going to be such a close fight, a banger of a fight. I'm super happy it's the co-main event. Who you got?
On the same page as you. I would say I'm confident in this pick. This wouldn't be one of my picks I'm going to go lay in the casino. Maybe if I had a few bucks to throw around. Plus, if you're getting plus money on Grant Dawson. But the thing about Damir is he crosses his feet too much, man. And when you're doing that at this level, you're going to get caught. He's very sloppy. He loses his balance a lot. And I think Grant Dawson, from what I've seen, he keeps things close in the grappling positions, and I think that's what Damir will suffer here. So I can see it going two ways. I like the over on this one too. I haven't even seen the money on this one, and I like Grant Dawson by decision, and I like, obviously the money line. I mean, whichever way you like to take it, but that's the way I'm going.
Dude, I'm aligned with you. Same thing, over decision, Grant Dawson. This will be his second fight out of the Good Camp American Top Team. He had left James Krause's Glory MMA and Fitness Gym, and he looked good out of that first fight, his most recent one out of ATT. So you might be seeing even more improvements here. And like I said, a little bit too much of a red flag from Damir retiring there, and then all of a sudden saying that he wants to finish out his UFC contract. I believe he might retire even if he wins here. So yeah, give me Grant Dawson, the underdog.
Action Sports Cap.
And in the main event taking place in the middleweight division, we have Sean Strickland, 26-5, the slight favorite at a -175. He's 32 years old, 6'1", with a 76-inch reach. And he's taking on Abus Magomedov. He's 25-4-1, the slight underdog at a +145. 32 years old, 6'2", with a 78-inch reach. FE.
And hand up, Martin, I have made a mistake. I got in too early on the Sean Strickland money line. I took him at -170 for 1.25 units, and you can catch him around now at -150. So money's coming in on Abus Nurmagomedov here, the German Dagestani striker. But I think that Sean Strickland's going to win a decision here, man. I think that the over is going to hit 3.5 rounds. If it does go under, it's because Abus catches him early quick, man. But this guy's just so inactive. Since signing to the UFC in 2021, he's had five fights canceled, bro. Gerald Meerschaert twice canceled. Magomed Muradov canceled twice. Alex Kizarev canceled. This guy is just can't get to a fight. I think it's visa issues from him. But dude, in his one UFC fight, he crushed Dustin Stolfus with a front kick and gets him out early, about 21 seconds. This guy has had 21 seconds in the UFC, Martin, and he's getting a main event slot against Sean Strickland. I think that Sean Strickland's going to use his jab, pick this guy apart, stay at distance, and that's why I put 1.25 units on him. I'm pretty confident in Sean Strickland. Who you got?
Flag on the play, flag on the play. Effie, we need to review the tapes again, please. Oh, no. Please, hear me out, man. I just don't like Sean Strickland right now. I can see a repeat of Strickland versus Ferreira. I think he's going to be too cocky. He's going to go into Abus's face, and he's about to get a busted face. So I think the only way you take this fight is Magomedov knockout. I mean, the money line is there, but this is the only way I see this guy winning. I think he's just with the reach advantage, the long arms. I think he's gonna pick Sean. He's gonna catch him. He's gonna uppercut him, and it's gonna see an early KO.
Dude, head to head in the main event. And I agree, man. The knockout could come early here for Magomedov here. It's funny, man. I feel like people are going to see his name and think he's a grappler, but he's actually a striker, man. Very good kicks, very good front kicks, and a very dangerous fighter early in the fight. But it's the inactivity, it's the lack of fighting, it's the proven, track record against higher level opponents from Strickland. I think that he's going to win a decision in this fight. Give me Sean Strickland to win via decision.